Today's topic is about duality. Duality in the sense of rivalry, like Adam and Lilith, Abel and Cain, Isaac and Ishmael, Esau and Jacob, Naruto and Sasuke, Asta and Yuno, and so on. Let's start with Adam and Lilith. Adam and Lilith were not only male and female, that is, opposites in sex, but they were also opposites in hierarchy. The hierarchy between the two divided them. Because God created them at the same time, at the same moment, and both of dust. Each of them wanted to be the supreme being. They fought for supremacy. It is said that their powers were equal. Their strength was equal. One wanted to have ascendancy over the other, and the other wanted ascendancy over the one. A battle of egos. From their conflict was born not only rivalry, but also conflicts. That is why God is one, to be autonomous. 3, to settle conflicts and debates. It is said that God decided in favor of Adam, and that Lilith disappeared no one knows where. She disappeared beyond the reach of God, beyond the dimension of God. Where God does not know, where God is not, where God has not set foot, where God does not exist, beyond consciences. Only the aftermath of Lilith remains. Many have forgotten her, and perhaps she is only fantasy. An ideal for women who want to be equal to their husbands, and an ideal for those who do as well as their husbands, or even better. Although in my opinion this story is a composition, an essay that is not found in our Bibles, it is therefore said that it is a hidden teaching, an erased teaching, a forgotten teaching, or perhaps even a recurring idea. After all, it is only now that in our societies, women are beginning to have and receive power. We could speak of essays as apocryphal on this subject, a message that did not get through. I am talking about it because rivalry should not only exist in the opposition of sex, but also in resemblance. Two similar beings do not have to go to war, unless they do not love each other, or they want to be unique. But I do not see any other reason for two similar beings to be enemies. Lady Lilith is a little-known oral teaching. Some imagine her as a Medusa from Greek mythologies, a woman whose gaze is not crossed, because she has a fatal gaze that petrifies, a lightning gaze, snake hair, and very often associated with the astrological star of Ophiuchus. The astrological star of Ophiuchus is the 13th zodiac, the zodiac that disappeared and or reappears at times. Lilith is the serpent goddess. It is perhaps this serpent that seduced Eve. A woman's best advisor is not her man, but another woman. Who said of the original serpent that she was a man or a woman? To tell the truth, only Eve can testify to this. Who established the rivalry between a man and a woman, rather than between two men or two women, as we will see in the following examples? Eve in correspondence is an addiction to Adam, the one that fills his emptiness, and not the one that divides through jealousy or complexity, division and destruction as Lilith was with Adam. And together Adam and Eve conceived love through multiplication and union. They conceived 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Their names meant power. Cain can and Abel is capable. God chose the offering of the capable, and this led to the first known crime, the death of the capable, the death of Abel, and by extension, the death of the devil. He was the first being to die. And that was the end? No. God replaced him with Seth, which means the program or the enter key on a computer keyboard, as in execute, game, set, and match. Cain and his offspring were eliminated from the face of the earth by way of the flood. Seth survived in Noah. Then came Abraham and Melchizedek, who were like 2 sides of a coin, but there was no rivalry between the 2 of them. So let's move on to the next one. Ishmael and Isaac. Although they were half-brothers, one gave his name to Islam, and the other gave life to Israel. We come to Jacob and Esau. Esau was known as blonde, red-haired, and hairy. He is the father of Europe. His father Isaac had chosen him, and in him was to reside the convenience of God, the tabernacle of God. But by trickery of his mother, it was Jacob who was enthroned. This made Esau mad with rage, and he sought to kill his brother. Esau and Jacob went to war and became enemy brothers. In modern history, we could associate this event with the genocide of the Jews by the Germans, with the Holocaust. God saw the betrayal of Rebekah and reformulated Jacob's name to Israel. This is not the first time that God has renamed someone. This was the case for Avram, for example, to Abraham. Melchizedek was to be his first choice. Then God renamed Abram for his government. His government or his tabernacle is like God's choice for his choice of the main character. The hero who is none other than his prophet, the lineage in which he will send his Messiah. It is in this sense that in the era of Abraham there was also Lot. Lot, Abraham's nephew, was appreciated by God, but God made his wife a pillar of salt. Because in the Old Testament, God defines himself as a jealous God. We can assume that God loved Lot so much that he was jealous of Lot's wife, hence his condemnation. By reformulating Jacob's name as Israel, God made his last choice. Christ will be born in Judah. It is in this sense that I am Judeo-Christian. In short, if I speak of duality, it is because God gives himself options. The Abel option or the Cain option, the Isaac option or the Ishmael option, the Esau option or the Israel option. Duality, like in Double Dragon. Two brothers fighting for the same woman. The Naruto Sasuke duality. Two brothers fighting for the title, like a football competition. The woman is often the trophy of this rivalry, because being a rival is like being twin brothers. Indra and Ashura, Madara and Hashirama, the goal is conflicting, and the goal is for the supremacy of one or the other. In the end, the rivalry began with Cain and Abel, and ended with the only Son, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the embodiment of this rivalry and the solution to this conflict. A fusion of the two brothers, a fusion of good and evil, a fusion of the two powers, who are like Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He says it himself in Revelation chapter 22, verse 13. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Your rival is your derivative, another you, a double you, like the 11, the 22, the 33,